Hey, what's up guys? Keenan here, your #1 Spider-Man PS5 fan. Today I want to talk about the tone of Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Thankfully, Bill Roseman, the president of Marvel Games, has confirmed that Spider-Man 2 will be a darker story than the first game. He also mentioned that we can consider this their version of Empire Strikes Back. This immediately got me hyped because I'm a sucker for dark stories in all mediums. Some of the best Spider-Man stories are often the darker and more heartbreaking stories. So today I'm here to answer one question. Just how dark should Spider-Man 2 go? But before I do that, I just want to say if you're new here and looking for more Marvel Spider-Man 2 content, then you should definitely subscribe. If you look at my channel, you'll see that it's pretty much all I talk about here. So if that sounds good to you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. With that being said, let's swing on into the video. So there's a lot of different ways a game could feel dark in tone. The story could be dark, the combat could be brutal and violent, the story elements could be twisted or heart-wrenching, or the setting, ambience, or overall vibe could be dark. I want to get into all of these elements, but first I want to start with the setting and overall vibe of the game. To start with, I want to say that Venom needs to be frightening in this game. I want to feel tension every time Venom is on screen. At times, I want to feel like I'm playing a horror game. Not always, of course, because this is a Spider-Man game, and even at Spider-Man's darkest times, the message is usually centered around hope. But I do want a few jump scares here and there, or how about some music that rivals Sam Raimi's Black Suit theme? So far the music sounds fantastic based on what we heard in the trailer. The ending of that trailer definitely gave me horror vibes, so I'm thankful that John Pisano is coming back to score this Spider-Man game, because the music he did in both Insomniac's Spider-Man games was just fantastic. I have no doubt that he's going to give us a beautifully horrific Venom theme and a much darker theme for Spider-Man when he has the black suit on. I just feel like getting the music right and adding in horror elements like jump scares is a great way to establish a darker story. So let's get into the combat now. I've mentioned in some of my recent videos that I want the brutality and the combat to be taken up a notch, especially when we have the black suit on. I'm going to sound like a broken record, but when I have this black suit on, I want to feel so much like a badass that I'm never going to want to take it off. The combat and abilities need to be taken up a notch with the black suit, and I want to see Peter perform some questionable moves where he isn't holding back his punches. And the same could be said for some of our villains, especially Venom. I want Venom to be a scary dude to fight. Fighting him should be no easy task. I want to fear Venom just because his fighting style is so violent and brutal. If Insomniac nails the brutality of the combat in this game, then they're on their way to making a much darker game. Okay, so let's get into the darkness of this story, specifically in how it relates to Peter and his relationships. One of the best parts about Peter Parker is how he loves people and how much his relationships mean to him. Relationships are a big part of what makes Peter Parker who he is. How he balances being Spider-Man and being a good friend or a nephew has always been fascinating to me. But what happens to Peter's relationships once he has that symbiote suit? Does Peter lose his way and those relationships begin to fracture? What causes Peter to break in this story? These are questions I want answered in this game. Does Peter lose someone close to him in this game and he begins to hit his breaking point? Let's say someone like MJ were to die in this game. Does he become filled with rage with the black suit on and nearly kill? And how does the people around him react to Peter once he has this black suit on? I'm very interested to see the dynamic between Peter and Miles once Peter does have the black suit. I'd love to see Miles try to stop Peter from losing his way, and perhaps this leads to a fight between Peter and Miles. Maybe in this scenario, Peter is really beating up Miles because of their disagreement. They get into a fight, and maybe he has him pinned to the ground, and as Peter's about to lay another hit on him, he looks up to see a reflection of himself with the 4 tendrils sticking out of his back. It almost resembles Doc Ock, and he is reminded of how Doc Ock lost his way, how the mentor let down the person who looked up to him most. This could be a parallel between the first game and the second game. From there, he realizes what he's done and goes to separate himself from the symbiote. I'm not a writer, but I love to see some story elements like this one. Seeing how Peter Parker's relationships play out in this game will be fascinating to me, and I want there to be friction. I want the relationships in the story to be a little bit darker in tone. Let me know what you guys think about that. So these are just some of the things I believe will help make this game have that darker tone we've been hearing about, and I'd love to know what you guys think about this in the comments section. I also wanted to announce the winner of my 1,000 subscriber giveaway, and then announce a 2,000 subscriber giveaway, because we did hit 2,000. But my 1,000 subscriber giveaway winner was selected through a random name generator. I took all the comments, added in names, and then randomly selected someone. The name that was selected was Sam Hughes. So Sam, please email me and I'll get your info and we'll send out your record. For my 2,000 subscriber giveaway, I'm going to give away another Spider-Man Miles Morales record because you guys seem to really like that one. So if you didn't win it on the first try, here is your chance to get a second chance at winning it. Just be a subscriber, comment on the video, and then like the video. But that's going to do it for me, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.